I welcome you to this evening class, the class of mathematics. Okay, today with me your teacher, Mr. Mkandu Honest, who is also commonly known as Mr. A+. Okay, so today we are actually looking at this question on the chalkboard, which is coming from the past paper 1, 2023 GCE. Okay, so quickly, let me just run you through the question and see how we are going to handle this particular question together. So what I'm asking for to you, my viewers, is to actually pay attention and get the necessary concept. Okay, so before I even start reading the question, I also want to advise you as an academician that the best thing to do whenever you are given a question is to actually understand the question, one, then two, identify the topic from which the particular question is coming. Okay, very, very important. So when you look at this question, the way it is, the diagram that we have, this question is no any other topic apart from linear programming. So this is how linear programming type of questions are being placed in paper 1. Okay, so this question itself is 3 marks. I mean, it is 4 marks. Okay, this is 5 marks, not 4 marks or 3 marks, but 5 marks. So they are saying write 3 inequalities that define the unshaded region are in the diagram below. So the diagram below, which they are talking about, is this one. Okay, so this is the diagram. There we have lines, okay, and also the shaded part and the parts that are not shaded. So now, how do we start this particular question? Remember, the question says, write 3 inequalities that define the unshaded region are in the diagram below. Okay, so now when we look at this diagram, we have how many lines? We have this line, okay, which is actually intercepting the y-axis as well as as well as the x-axis this side. Then there is another one which is intercepting the x-axis and y-axis at one point, okay, and it has gone like this. Then there is also another line here which has just intercepted the y-axis and parallel to x-axis. Okay, so these are the lines which they are talking about that we should write their inequalities according to the shaded region. So in this case, they actually don't specify which line you are supposed to start with. It just up to you to start whichever line you feel like. So for me, this evening, I am going to start with this line. Okay, so how do we write the inequality of this line? Okay, so here there is another aspect or 2 factors that you should also consider. Okay, the first factor there is to look at the line itself. Is that line solid line or broken line? You know what I mean? So this is a solid line because there are no gaps in between. It is just a straight like that. So it is called broad line or solid line. So once you identify that, then when writing, if your inequality symbol is going to be greater or equal to, greater, then it should be greater than or equal to. Why? Because the line is broad. That is the factor. That is the rule that you're supposed to follow on that part. Okay, so you need to know. So like this one, if it is going to be less than, it should be less than or equal to. Why? The line is solid, as I've already mentioned. So let's start. You have identified that. Then the other part is to look at which side has been shaded. So when you look at this one, the down part is the one which is shaded. So this is actually passing, intercepting the what? the y-axis. So it is going to be, because it is intercepting y, so it is going to be y. So here, we don't need to write equals. Okay, first of all, you can first start by writing equals. Then from there, you are going to interpolate depending on the side which is shaded. So here we are going to say y is equals to, where is it intercepting? Y-axis on 1. So just say y is equals to 1. Now in this case, this is an equation. Now we want to have in an inequation, which is the inequality or constraints. Okay, so here you are going to say y. So let's look at the shaded part. So when you look at this one, the shaded part is the less than x, because, or I mean the less than y, because when you look at this line going down here, we are reducing, the numbers are being reduced. Okay, because from 1 there you go to 0, from 0 you go to negative, so that is less than. Okay, so now when you're writing, okay, when writing the inequality, we now write the inequality which will actually satisfy the condition that we have, because the feasible region is there. So now it means for this one which was shaded, that was unwanted region. Okay, so in writing we are going to write the wanted region, which actually satisfy the condition that we have here. So it will be greater, because down there is less, so it will be greater. The shaded is greater. Remember, it's greater than or equal to y. The line is bold. This is what I said. So it will be like this. So this is the inequality number 1. Okay. Then one more thing that I want to talk about the inequality is the names. They have got different names. Sometimes they may use the word restrictions. So they are talking about inequalities. Sometimes they will use constraints. They are talking about inequalities. So even if they tell you to say write 3 constraints, just know that it's inequality which they are looking for. Then even if they say write 3 restrictions, they are talking about what? Inequality. Very, very important to know that one. So we are done with this line. Okay, we are done. Then which one? Next, we can go to this one, which is also bold. So when you look at this one also, it is a bold line. It's a solid line. There's no gaps there. It's not a broken line. So we'll follow the same rules, okay, that we applied on the first one. So when you look at this one now, this line is intercepting y-axis and as well as the x-axis. Okay, so there we have x and what? And y. So that is an equation. Okay, now for us, remember, there are certain rules that you are supposed to follow when finding the equation of a given line. So for this one, we are going, first of all, the one thing that you're supposed to have is the gradient. Then thereafter, you have the coordinates. Okay, then you are done. So let's start by finding the gradient of that line. Then from there, we are going to have the coordinates. Okay, so before that, you go back to the line and see, are you given the gradient there? It's not there. The coordinates, they are there. Okay, we just pick them. So now, let's start. How do we find the gradient? So this is now inequality 2. Okay, inequality 2. It's the one that you are finding here. So we can use this part. Then we are going to put the answer here. So they are just 3, so the 3 will also come down there. Okay, so for this one now, how we find the gradient? The gradient is equals to y1 minus y2 over x1 minus x2. Okay, so those are the gradient. I mean, that's the formula for gradient. Now, first of all, now for us to apply that, to substitute where there is y1, y2, we should also correct the coordinates. Okay, and in fact, correcting the coordinates should be the first one. Then you introduce the formula. So what is this point? X here is what? 0. So 0, 6. Then what about here? Okay, here x is 6. So 6, what about y? Y is 0. Okay, we have corrected the coordinates. The y, because the way I've corrected them like that is because this is 0 for x. X here is 0. Then y is what? 6, which is y. That is the one, 0, 0.6. Then for this one, this is x. X is 6. Then what about y? Y here is what? 0. That is the one. So that is how we collect. Then from there, you can name them. You have x1, y1. Then you have x2, y2. Okay. So those are the values that you are going to substitute. So now we can go on. So we are saying y1 is what? 6. Then minus y2 is 0. Then over, we come to x down there. X1 is what? 0. Then minus, what is the x2? X2 is there, which is 6. So the final answer is going to be 6 over, this is negative. Okay, so 6 over 6, negative 6 over 6, so which will actually be negative 1. So this negative 1, in this case, our gradient is negative 1. Okay, so after we have found the gradient and the coordinates in place, we are now going to use the formula. We have two formulas of finding the equation. We have gradient intercept form and gradient point form. So it's up to you to choose. So with me, I'm going to run you through in gradient point form. Okay, so y, this is the formula, y minus y1 is equals to m, which is the gradient, then x minus x1. Okay, so y, what is our y1? We have the coordinates. Y1 is what? 6. It's there. So 6 is equals to, what is our gradient? Gradient is negative 1. Okay, then x, then x1 is what? X1 is there, which is a 0. Okay, then from there we can say y minus 6 is equals to, we can get rid of the brackets there by multiplying by negative 2, which is outside. So negative 2 times x is negative x, then negative 2 times 0 there is just like this. Okay, then from there you say y plus x is equals to what? 6. Okay, so this is an equation. Okay, so this is the equation for this line. Okay, now let us turn that one now into inequality, because it's one that we want to put to answer as our final answer. So here now, this is equals, so this equals has to change to inequality. So now, how are we going to consider that? How are we going to write? Okay, bearing in mind that this is a solid line, so our answer is either going to be greater than or equal to or less than or equal to. So let's now interpret the shaded part according to the feasible region that we are given. So here we have the feasible region, which is this one. So where this shaded part is, as we are going this side, you find that x will be increasing, y will also be increasing. So according to the way it is shaded, unwanted region is y plus x greater than or equal to 6. Okay, that is the shaded part, which is unwanted region. So when writing, the opposite of that is going to be a y plus x less than or equal to 6. Okay, and that will be our answer. So it is going to be y plus x less than or equal to 6. So that is the one we are going to put here. Y plus x less than or equal to 6. So we are done with the second one, which is this one. I decided to start with this one. We are done. Okay, so now let's go to the other one. The other one, which is actually the last line that we are going to make. The last one. Okay, so this one also, we are here now. Okay, so this line, when you look at it closely, you are going to see that that is a broken line. Okay, it is broken. So that one, the answer that you are going to have when it is broken, when the line is broken, the inequality that we are going to have is greater than, either greater than or less than. There's nothing like equal to. Okay, why? The line is broken or dotted. Okay, so that should be in your mind as you are solving this one. You know, in mathematics, we beat time. So you should have speed as well as accuracy. So now, here how we are going to move is that we are going to also, because this line is passing through 2 points, it's intercepting x at 0, y also at what? 0. So here we have 0, 0. Those are the coordinates. We need to collect the coordinates. So 0, 0. Then this side we are given the coordinates. So let's use this coordinate. The idea here, we want to find the gradient 2, 4. These are the coordinates that we are given. Then from there, we are going to introduce the formula for gradient now. Okay. Okay, this is the formula for gradient, different in y, different in x. Okay, so we can start substituting from there. How do we substitute? So we are going to name them first: x1, y1, x2, y2. So what is our y1? y1 is 0. So say 0 minus y2. y2 is 4. Okay, over. Then we come to x1. x1 is 0 minus x2. x2 is 2. Okay, so from there we are going to have 4 over negative 2 or so. So this will give us 2. So 2 is our gradient according to this line. So the gradient of this line is 2. Then, having known the gradient and the coordinates are there already, we are now going to use the formula for finding the what? The equation. Okay, equals m, then x minus x1. Then we can substitute y minus y1. What is our y1? Our y1 is 0. Then equals, our gradient is 2. Then x minus, what is our x1? x1 is 0 also. Okay, so there now we are going, this is just 0, so say y is equals to 2 times x is 2x. Then there is 0. So that is the equation. So the equation is, the equation of this line is y is equals to 2x. Okay, that is our equation of the line. Then now, having found the equation, what next is now to consider the shaded part, which is unwanted region. So when you look at this, they are saying y. Okay, y. So when you are going this side, y is equals to x. When you are going this side where it is shaded, what is happening to y? Y automatically is increasing. Okay, y is increasing when you are going this side. Y is increasing, that is greater. Okay, so y is greater than 2x. That is the shaded region. So when coming down there, it means you are running away from y. So the y will be reducing now. It will come this side now. It will be reducing going this side, away from the y. So when you are going up, y is increasing. So now here, what will happen is the unwanted region is greater, y is greater than 2x. So now what will happen is, when writing is the opposite, just the opposite, because you need to favor the what? The feasible region, which is R, and unshaded, the region that is not shaded, unshaded region. Okay, the shaded region is greater, then unshaded is less. So unshaded, that's the one we are going to write. So it will be, the final answer will be y. Y is less than 2x. So y is less than 2x. So it will be y is less than 2x. Okay. So these are 4 constraints or inequalities that they were looking for. So once you are done like this, it means 5 marks is yours. So that is the way to go. Thank you so very much for your attention. Kindly follow me on my Facebook page, Mr. A+, as well as on my YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe, those of you who have not yet done so. This is the right time to do that so that we can move together. You can follow for more educative videos. Actually, feel free. Once you just subscribe, it means you have entered to the home of academic excellence. We are there to actually get you there academically. Thank you so very much for your attention and your cooperation, my viewers out there. Thank you.